Bob, you asked me about plane, and you said that you felt like you had a plane shift. And we saw that due to wherever the elbows are bending, that's going to throw this club everywhere, okay? Now, we don't want that plane shift. If I was playing a sport which, you know, all of baseball, even though we start high and drop in baseball, but let's just say we started out on one flat surface, a tabletop. And the tee ball is just above that tabletop. We slide the bat back on the tabletop and through on the tabletop. The bat's going to hit the ball on the tee every single time. If I take that bat off of the tabletop, then I got to figure out a way to put it right back on in order to hit the ball on the tee, right? Okay, so that tabletop is a plane, a flat surface. Okay, well, we take that tabletop and we lower it to the angle that we play golf on, which is the same as the pitch of a roof. Okay? All right, go ahead and stand on this side right now, right about here and here, so that you're not in the way of the camera. And the golf ball is, you know, we stand directly behind it, and we take a look at the ball, and we take a look at the object that we're heading for, and there's an imaginary straight line between those 2 points, the ball and the target. We find on the ground something that's within our direct-on view as we stand over the golf ball that tells us that's on the same straight line, okay? And it's going to be a divot or a flower or something, okay? But no further than 4.5 feet, because that's about as far as our eyes can stretch peripherally. So we just need a direct-on for here, because when I'm standing here looking at the ball, I can't see the target, okay? So I take my eyes off, and I say, yeah, that looks good, but now I can't see the club face of the ball, so I don't know where it's pointed, okay? All right? But standing here right now, I know that club face is pointing at the target because this little white piece of tee is right on the target line. All right, so now I have a reference point and my station direct on view as to what's straight to the target, okay? But I didn't find that except for standing behind the ball. So anybody that walks in, hops out of their cart, plugs the ball in, and stands right here, you can up the bet because you know they don't know where the ball's going. Okay? All right? Picking an intermediate target is a must for every shot in golf, whether it's from a putt through a drive. You've got to know what straight is to your target. Out on the course, you've got 30 yards of target, but when we're on the green, you've got 4.25 inches, okay? So that intermediate target gets harder to find because the surface that more immaculate, but we need to get the ball in the sweet spot of the club to roll right over that intermediate target so the ball starts on that right, the correct line, okay? Same with golf. But we use this straight line segment right here from the intermediate target to swing this club on plane. Okay? When the middle rod right here is just ball position, so this is your station. You're going to have your rods set up for your target line. You're going to have the center rod set up for ball position. Unless you want to hit a low shot, the ball is never played behind the center of you. Okay? It's always from the sternum forward. All right? And everybody's hand speed and motion is a little different, so nobody has the exact same ball flight. But the club is still traveling down, 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 and the face is looking at the ground. So anything back here is always going to go, and it hasn't squared up yet. It's going to go off to the right, back to the right foot. It's going to go low right, more towards the center of you. The face is now more, it's closer to the target line and back to its normal loft, so it's going to be higher and straighter. Off to the left foot, the face is now circling back in again, so that ball is going to go left, okay? So just think right foot, low right, left foot, high left, okay? Because that's just the way the club is traveling in the arc. Down, 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 right, sweet spot low, okay, center, and then back up and in over here, okay? So high left. For ball position, we need our body to be parallel to the target line, okay? So pull out another rod for me. Thanks. So this shaft right here is parallel to the target line. Our body, if it's parallel to that line, our arms are going to swing down the target line. If I was crooked, my arms are going to swing from my shoulders, so that means they're going to swing out to the right. Okay? And then same, you're going to swing left there. So you need your heels, because your body's going to line up to your heels. Okay? Parallel to that target line, toes flared out. Okay? All right? The roof. All right? On the chimney. Okay, there's a hole cut out in this roof so that I can move. All right? And I go ahead and I set the club down on top of that roof. The hole is cut big enough so that my hands aren't in the way of the roof itself. If I keep this shaft pointing at the target line, you see how I'm right on that same angle or still sliding this shaft right up that roof. If I take the club away this way, you see I'm not pointing at the target line anymore, I'm in the attic. So I'm not swinging on that flat surface, am I? Okay? If I took the club out, so I'm above the roof, right? So whichever end of the club that's closest to the ground is always pointing at the target line. When I get the shaft into the condition where it's not, neither end is pointing at the ground, it's horizontal to the ground, it's parallel to the target line. As my right elbow folds and I continue to turn back, now the butt end of the club picks up the target line. Now the butt end of the club is pointing at the ball. You see how that's on the same angle it was at address? Okay? Pointing at my foot, you see how that's above the roof? Pointing at you see how that's inside? Alright? So, since the ball is always on the target line, which is the gutter of the roof, if I keep this club on the gutter, or I mean, on the roof, I'm going to always find the ball resting in the gutter, okay, or on the target line. So point, parallel, okay? What I'm doing when I take the ball back is I'm pointing the butt end of the club at the ball. Okay? That's on plane. Right now, yeah. That's where we're going to right now. Okay? So this shaft is on plane. I've pivoted because the left heel's off the ground. Okay? My hands are still in front of me. I didn't swing my arms back without my body. Okay? You see how the body will turn a little bit, but so left heel takes you back, point the butt end of the club at the ball. You see that? Okay? Right elbow's folded, left arm's long. Alright? That's the wrist cock. I'm playing with pivot. The left arm makes the letter L with the club shaft when you do that. Okay? When we start down, what starts us down is planting that left foot. Okay? When we come into impact, the right arm is straightening from bent to straight. Okay, so you see how my arms are now in the position of the letter Y? See how the hand's out in front of that club head? Okay? I'm going to carry, the shaft's the tail of the Y. The arms make the top of the Y. Okay? I'm going to carry that letter Y to the tree. Okay? Both arms fully extended. Remember I said the left arm fully extended. Extension is consistency. Bent is everywhere. Okay? So if we can hit with pivot, left heel, point, brush, and hold your letter Y, you're going to be able to start finding consistency. Okay? Predicting where that ball is going to go. Both are correct, so I don't want to mislead you. But because the club head for you when you got here today was out in front of the hands, I really want to throw the message strong to the subconscious that impact the hands are out in front of the club head. So we're going to start today with our hands just to the inside of our left thigh, so that from the elbow all the way to the club head, it's one straight line. If I had my hands pulled back here at mid-body, you see how there's a bend in the arm right now, okay? So we're going to start out closer to impact, okay? With the left arm, see how that left wrist is flat? The right wrist is bent, okay? That's what we're coming back to, all right? So the butt end of the club is, I kind of think of it as there's a holster right here on the inside of my left thigh. And we're going to go back. What takes us back? The left heel. Okay, we're going to point. Letter Y. Sorry for so many horrible shots. Let me just get out of the paralysis. Yeah, they will. Yeah. Unfortunately for me, L to Y. Point the butt end of the club at the ball for your letter L. Point the club head at the tree for your letter Y. If the palm goes up in an attempt to lift the ball, and most everybody does that, that's where we were, okay, on the right foot with both elbows chicken-legging, okay. The club in motion, when the right palm goes up, club goes back here towards that 18th green, okay? Palm up, club back. Palm goes down to the ball, okay? And then straight out to target so that the palm is not ever going to the sky. It's just extending out at points left, okay? So it's fold the right arm, plant the left heel, the elbow extends right to the tree, okay? Very similar to throwing a ball. Okay. One more. Get the ball on the target line. Ball in the right position. Up heel. So the feet take you back, feet bring you through. Letter L right here, okay. Letter Y. Right foot stays on the ground. I can't reach out there. So it says there's a gap right here, all right. I'm not going to take all my weight. I'm just going to do this, all right. So you've got to plant the left, come off the right for your letter Y, okay. So you're going to finish like this, like that. Okay. Any questions?